I've always been a big believer in you put something out there and you work through it. And it mightn't be perfect to start with, but you see what works and what didn't, and you keep tweaking. And the analytics is so important.
Stop and don't spend another single cent on advertising until you listen to this. I'm Marianne Amies. This is Ready, Set, Paid Ads, digital marketing for paid ad success. Let's go. Today on the Ready, Set, Paid Ads podcast, I'm talking to Angela Pickett, an experienced sales page and website copywriter, and also an aspiring romance novel writer. She brings her passion for a good love of a story to her sales page copywriting. And in today's episode, we really dive into the purpose of a sales page and how they've evolved over the years. We talk about, in the context of paid ads, just how important that destination is and how a good sales page or landing page is going to woo that new prospect and take them on a journey from engaged with an ad to converting to your offer. It's a really great chat about the role that copy plays and the need for the perfect digital marketing ecosystem to make your ads succeed. I'm excited today to be joined by Angela Pickett. Hi, Angela. How are you?
Hello, how are you? I'm very well.
That's good. Me too. So excited to have you here. To start off, can you tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, sure. So I've been a copywriter for about 6 years. And I must say, when I started copywriting, the idea of sales page copywriting, which we're going to talk about today, was the furthest from my mind. I'd been a diplomat. And so in my head, I was going to do very straight talking, plain English copy. But I came across sales pages and I've fallen in love with them. But I'm also a aspiring romance writer. So over the past year, I've been working out how I could kind of meld those two passions together and been working on that. So, and I think there's a lot of similarities between a good romance story and a good sales page. So yeah, looking really forward to chatting about that.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I love that you're writing a book. That must be such a big project.
It's a huge project. And at the moment, I'm kind of torn between, I keep coming up with ideas and I have a first draft that needs me to start a second draft. And at the moment, that's a little bit daunting. So yeah, I'm playing around with some others. So I'm sort of torn between two different stories at the moment, but it's fun. It means there's always something to play with.
Yeah, I love it. I'm
not working.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a huge reader. So yeah, I'd love to read it once it comes out. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, well, I had to stop reading. I think that's probably part of my problem.
Yeah.
I'm a huge reader as well. So, I mean, that's what I always say about, good readers, but it's balancing that and going, right, put the other books away. And I have been using that as a little bit of a carrot lately as well.
Yeah.
So
a little reward system.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that. Well, obviously today I'm going to ask you my favorite question to ask. So to kick off, do you ads?
I don't actually, but it's one of those things that I have some new things happening. And I think it's one of those areas that I am going to have to dive into. I came to copywriting, I guess, with a real search engine optimization, SEO focus.
Yeah.
So up till now, that's been my focus, but I'm starting to get into more of running workshops and things like that, where I think paid ads could be really, really valuable. So this is a great learning experience for me as well.
Amazing. Well, obviously, as you said, you've got that strong copywriting background. And I think, traditionally or certainly in that digital front of the last 10 years, SEO and copywriting have gone really hand in hand. I think that a lot of that extra skill set for great copywriters is understanding SEO. But, to your point as well, there are opportunities within ads that I guess, I always sort of think SEO is a marathon and ads are the sprint. Ads can give you something today or tomorrow, where SEO, it's that adage of when's the right time to plant a tree yesterday.
Exactly.
SEO is always going to work in your favor, but if you need a result now, SEO is not necessarily going to give you that tomorrow. So I think what it kind of makes me think of, and we were talking a little bit just before we jumped on about ad copy, and even ad copy all around. It is what can drive ad success. And, SEO and copy go hand in hand. But I also think that paid ads and copy go hand in hand.
Definitely, definitely. I think that's it. I mean, if you're investing, and I guess that's it, once you start deciding that you're going to spend that money on an ad, it's not something you want to do with just you've kind of got to have that really good basis of copy behind you, and really all the fundamentals, I guess, that we need for good copywriting and to make SEO work. You also need for ads as well. So they definitely go hand in hand. So, and there's obviously, I guess, there's synergies between them, but there's also lessons we can learn through our SEO and the research we've done to really feed into our ads and the AdWords we use and those sorts of things. So I see it as all a big part of it, but I think and I agree with you. I think there are benefits to both, but you've still got to have that solid foundation in the copy.
And we talk a lot about the kind of ecosystem of digital marketing. There's no one area that can really excel in isolation of others. You'll need to have all your different marketing touch points working together. And I think when we come to the ad, it's the ad destination that is almost as important as all the mechanics of the ad as well. We can get the ad in front of the right people at the right price at the right time. But if where we send them is a dud, whether that's e-commerce and it's a product page that's broken, or it's an out of stock product, or whether it's service and we send them to the contact us page, the destination is really critical in what happens after the ad.
Definitely. And I think that's where, obviously, I guess my interest in sales pages comes in, because it's no point. It will fail. And that's where I think it's really important. As you say, it is an ecosystem, and it's not just about, well, my ad didn't really take off, and looking at those metrics and thinking there's something wrong there, when actually probably what's wrong is the destination of where they got to in that sales page or that landing page. And it didn't marry up, and you haven't perhaps invested as much in that as you've invested in the copy for the ad. So it is about having all of those touch points right, whether that's how we show up when we're meeting people face to face and going to events, or our social media. And it really is, I'm a big believer in that as well. There's not just one thing that's going to be a golden solution when it comes to growing our businesses.
No, agree. And I loved before you said that a landing page is a bit like a romance story, a bit like a romance novel. Tell me about that idea.
Yeah, look, it came about a little bit because I think I was trying to justify, to be really honest, I was going to the Romance Writers of Australia conference last year. It was here in Adelaide. It was part of my Festival of 50. And I was trying to work out how I could sort of justify that this was part of my business. And I started playing around. And I guess what I came on and I landed on was that it really is a bit like a first date.
Yeah.
And it really should be like, you don't want it to be sleazy. You want it to answer all the questions. You want to know what you're getting out of it. And you want to come away feeling like it was the right investment. So I kind of have played around with that a little bit. And it's one of the things I'm doing with my branding a little bit more, I guess, is moving away from that straight talking diplomat into more of the romance writing, and really being that idea that it is about, like any copy, it's about building a relationship. It's about building a connection, and it's about telling a really good story as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And that's the thing. I think we think sales has to be direct and forceful and kind of like that relentless push. But how do we like to be won over? We like to be won over in a more gentle way, in a way that inspires us and sparks curiosity and all those sorts of things. So I think it's such a great analogy. And I think of the traditional sales page and landing page training that I've seen over the last 15 years. And it is very functional. The approach to it is highly functional.
Yeah, I think so. And look, and I think it's one of the things that put me off sales pages at the beginning, because I just didn't see myself as a salesy sort of person. And so the idea of selling to someone just it felt sleazy. It felt sort of that smarmy used car salesman kind of thing. And it wasn't really till I started, I guess, diving in and looking at sales pages. And it was really just having worked on a couple and then realizing that it's not about selling something to someone that they don't want. This is someone who really, and I guess that's where this is again, that connection with your ads copy is this is someone who actually wants the thing that you've got. And it's taking them on a journey to answer all of those questions. And I guess that's why a lot of sales pages I see are that relentless selling and they kind of repeat the same thing over and over. Whereas a really good sales page is actually, there's quite a structure to it and it's taking that person on a journey. So by the end of it, they feel really confident that you're the right person to, whether you're a coach and you're offering coaching or it's a course or a membership or even I've done sales pages for subscription boxes that someone feels that they're comfortable to sign up for that delightful box every quarter. So it's not, I think that's it. It's taking it away from that idea that it is something kind of icky.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. And it's as you're saying that, I'm just thinking about so much or so many of us are hung up on sales and that feeling of sales. I have that conversation with so many people and I know myself, I profess I don't love sales. I don't enjoy sales. I'm terrible at sales and I am the sole salesperson of my agency for the last 15 years. So it's sort of like sometimes when I tell my team, they're like, yeah, but you do a good job at it. I'm like, yeah, but in my mind, my point of view or my reflection on myself is I don't like it. I don't like the conversations. I don't like pushing people into things. I'm very honest. But so many of us business owners, and again, maybe I do spend a lot of time talking to female business owners as well. We have that sales is gross,
100%. And I was exactly the same. And I think it's really come to being, I guess, as you say, when you're a business owner, kind of part and parcel for what we do. Like at the end of the day, we kind of do have to, whether it's selling ourselves as the service provider or a workshop that we're offering or the packages that we've got. And I guess it is about trying to, I guess one of the things that I've fallen in love with sales pages is actually it can take a really well-constructed, well-written sales page can take the ick out of that. So you're not pushing people into anything. If anything, you're giving them all the information they need so that at the end, they don't feel icky. And I think, again, it's about looking at, obviously there's different sales tactics that different people will use, but it is about being really, you mentioned being really transparent. And that's one of the things that I'm a big believer in. And I think the things that give sales pages a bad name are some of those things that are probably less than transparent. So there's no pricing. There's those fake countdown clocks. There's that false scarcity. There's vague inclusions. And it's all those things. And you don't need those for a sales page. And I think that's the thing. People perhaps have seen sales pages in the past. And I see it a lot. I was fed something on social media the other day that looked really interesting and I followed it through and it was with that classic where it's like you've signed up, but what about this? But what about this? But what about this? And it was all the things that I thought, these are all the tactics. And there are a lot of tactics that are starting to be outlawed in a lot of places of these sort of deceptive design or dark patterns. So now that those things are kind of going to have to be taken out of a sales page, it really does come down to getting the structure right and really understanding your customer. And to me, I love a sales page because it is quite a good structure that once you work through it, you're getting all the answers you need to make sure that your ad copy is right, that your every step of your process kind of can be checked off by working through your sales page.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think there has been a massive evolution in that. I think even, again, I think probably 10 years ago, all the click funnel training and the people with those programs. And there is still a lot of people using those programs, but the upsells and it's the freebie. But once you have the freebie, then upsell them the $7 thing. And if they take that, then do the $150 thing. And you take people on this whole process that probably by the end of it makes them feel less great about what they signed up for in the first place, rather than having that wonderful, transparent experience, opting in or getting the freebie or buying the thing, maybe getting a second offer, but still feeling really great about it. Rather than, I think when so many of those things pop up, it is like that bad date. You kind of walk out, you're like, that was good. And then you get home, you're like, I think that was bad. Hang on a second.
Exactly. That's a great way to sort of put it. Or maybe it's, you sort of walk out, oh, yeah, that was okay. And then it's only when you start telling someone else about it and you're like, hang on a minute, that wasn't what I signed up for. Or that wasn't what I was looking for. I guess that's the other way. And it is, a sales page should just work just as much to repel the wrong people.
Yeah, true.
Now, obviously, if you've got paid ads and you were hoping that pretty much you're only getting the right people to it. But, organically, if someone's finding your sales page and they get to the end and they look at the pricing and they go, oh, I don't think I can afford that right now. But you haven't wasted their time and you haven't wasted your time. And I think that's, again, that really, and we could go on with the date analogies about, I was only after, I'm only looking for fun, or I was looking for marriage kind of thing. So it is about being really, like, the clearer you can be up front. And you might find someone that they say, oh, well, I can't afford this. This program looks great, or this course looks really, really good. I really would love to do it. I can't afford it right now, but gee, this person sounds like they really know what they're doing. I'll keep following them. I'll opt in. And it's on my bucket list for as my business grows. Maybe I'll sign up to do that course then. So it should leave people feeling that even if they might go, oh, well, that's out of my price range now, it doesn't leave them feeling ripped off and wasting their time going through to a call, or waste your time as well. I mean, that's my big thing.
No, I agree. And I'm not, again, and maybe this is why we get that bad taste in our mouth about sales, but there are schools of business, and the school of business that's like, get them on the phone, handle the objections, like just get them. I remember a client telling me about something where it's like, you just tell them to get their credit card, like get them on the phone, just say to them, get your credit card, like if you can get them to get their credit card out, then you're 70% there. It's sort of like, I don't want some poor person giving me their credit card details because I've bullied them into it over a phone call. Like, I think, again, and with what you're saying as well about lots of things changing about what you can and can't do on a page, I think that consumer protection piece is so important as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, that sort of bullying, and again, we're going on the romance theme here, but it's not exactly a great foundation for a long-term relationship.
Exactly.
So if you want that person to not just work with you once, but maybe again, but also then be an advocate for you, that's not a great way to start. So again, it's about being really upfront and being really honest and building that connection and that relationship and allowing that potential customer to see that you are the right person with the service or the product that you've got, that it's got the features and the benefits that they're looking for, that will solve the problem that they've clicked on that ad or they've come to the page for.
Yeah.
But then they're also going to be, I mean, the other thing that makes a sales page really great is all of that proof and those testimonials, the results. If you're getting the wrong person onto your course or into your membership or buying your service or product, they're not going to leave you those reviews. No. They're going to leave with a really foul taste in their mouth, and it's going to have that negative effect. So it's just as much about building those advocates and trust really is at the foundation of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of trust, I think, again, we were chatting about this a bit earlier off the interview, but also I think what is so important about that landing page is the relationship between the ad and the landing page. And then you touched on the fact that if you're investing in your ad copy and you're investing in ads in general, you're making this, I guess, your initial plea or your initial presence to that right person with this fantastic ad, if the landing page doesn't back that up, if it doesn't feel the same, if it's not of the same quality, if it's not the same messaging, or if the offer has completely changed or is now quite misleading, again, you've wasted that opportunity of bringing that right person to your page.
Definitely. And I think that's really that key thing that, and that was sort of, I guess, that initial conversation that you and I were having was, if you're at a point with your business that you've decided that it's time to invest in putting some money on the table to invest in your ads, you want to make sure you've invested the same thing into that landing page or the sales page, wherever someone is actually landing. And I guess the thing is, if it is just again, it comes down to obviously what we're selling as well. So if it is only a cheaper or a freebie offer, we don't need to overcook it. We don't need to perhaps go on for a long sales page. But if it is something that's really big, so, it's a membership or it's a course or a significant investment for someone, is about then that following through and really, again, you've taken them on the journey through the ad copy, that you've invested in that, you've got the right, I guess, language, you've connected with them, you've taken them through to that. And then it's about then making sure that your sales page continues that journey that you've invested in. And it is really one of the things I see about sales pages that frustrates me sometimes is there's just the same thing repeated over and over and over. And that's where it's like, buy me, buy me, buy me. And while I'm a big believer in each block should have a call to action at the end, there is a specific structure where we take them through. They've got a problem and you've got the solution. We're taking them through the product or the service. We're giving them that proof. And then we're giving them that action to buy. And it is quite a structured thing so that by the end, it is easy to click and you've got all of that information. And again, as I said earlier, I'm a big believer in sales pages that are really transparent and have that pricing, are really specific. So it's not just lots of templates. So it's 8 templates or it's 5 half-an-hour coaching calls or whatever it is, like that specificity. So someone at the end can almost, I guess, be ticking off and going, okay, well, this is what I'm really getting. And this, and I guess that's it. It builds trust, because if you can put all that out front on that page for everyone to see, and be really honest about it, then they're going to feel like, well, this is someone I can believe in that's going to actually do the right thing by me and my business.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we're asking someone to put credit card details in that's potentially never met us before, or maybe just heard about us or seen us here or there. Like, I think sometimes we forget that we are asking somebody that doesn't know us to give us their money.
Exactly. So, you want to be really, I guess, by the end of it, that they really do know who you are and what you stand for. And I guess that's why again, if it is, for example, if it's me offering my sales page packages, or for example, I'm doing a sales page workshop with my designer, and it is about really telling our story and who we are and making sure that people feel like they kind of get us and we're the right people for them. And showing as much as we can. Obviously, we're doing this first workshop and putting the sales pages together is hard because we don't have all of that proof yet. We were kind of writing it as we were evolving what they were going to be offered. But the good thing is then you go back in and you keep tweaking that sales page as you get clearer and clearer on the offer, or you update it each time as it evolves, and you get that feedback from. And that's the other thing. Hopefully, whatever you're sending people to is something that you're going to keep doing or you're going to evolve. So you want people that are happy to say, yeah, that was great. I really loved it. This is what I got out of it. So that the next time someone lands on your ad and lands on that page, there's even more of that proof that from real people that people can go, yep, that sounds like my person. I can identify with that. I had the same problem. This sounds like it is the solution for me.
I think that's such a good point about the evolution as well. And I mean, I see it in websites as well, that wanting to be a perfectionist and wanting it to be perfect before you start, wanting to make sure it's everything, when really everything digital can evolve. And that's one of the beautiful things about digital. We don't send off 50,000 copies to print. We don't distribute it in that way. And I think having that ability to continue to test and learn, and the beauty of ads and a landing page is that you can be testing ads to an A/B landing page, but you can also be testing A/B ads to one landing page. So by that, I mean you can be testing two slightly different versions of the same landing page with one ad to see, okay, which landing page gives me better results, or you can be testing two different versions or more of your ads, add copy, add images, add audiences to the same landing page to start to learn again. So what is the data telling me? And you might try a landing page with lots of testimonials and try a landing page with minimal testimonials and see, well, which one gives the best results? Okay, more testimonials. So my offer needs testimonials. Great. I got to get more of those in there because I can see that that's already converting at a higher rate. And you mentioned freebies before and getting copy for freebies. I always say to my clients for the ad copy side, I'm like, we shouldn't need to say too much to give away something for free. If we have to write 5 paragraphs to convince someone for your freebie, it's probably not the best freebie. Like it shouldn't be that hard. Shouldn't be that hard to give away something for. I mean, we all know we're getting an email address, but it shouldn't have to be a hard sell to give something away for free. But testing your copy in your ads, testing if it's short and sharp copy or if it's some of that long form, almost bringing in some of that landing page copy and structure, what your problem is, who we are and why we can solve it, what some people say about us, what the price is, what the confidence offer is on that, if it's money back or if it's whatever, 30-day trial. Does the ad need that longer form to get them to the landing page ready to go? Or does the ad just need that enticement that gets that click and gets them over there? And I think that evolution and that work in progress mindset there. And I sort of say, even with ads, and it's the same with sales pages and landing pages, I say to clients, there's no magic formula. I can't say to you, I'm going to do A plus B plus C and it's going to get you results. But what I can say is we will keep learning. And I think it's the same with the landing page. If that landing page isn't working, let's shove some things up, move some things down, put another button there, change that image. Like there's so many, change the headline. There's so many different iterations that you can go through to find that perfect scenario.
And that's it. I mean, there is a real structure to a sales page. And I guess that's where, as you say, looking at all of things and whether it's using something like Hotjar that actually looks at, as someone's gone through the page, where is it that you're losing them? And that's, I think, a really important thing. But I mean, I've always said it with website copy as well. Like your website isn't written in stone. You don't write it once and leave it. It will evolve and you will tweak it just as your business evolves. And I mean, I'm now in that position as well, whereas I've obviously been playing around with this romance side of it. My website now really now needs a new update from the sort of straight talking ex-diplomat. And I guess it's like all of us, our brands evolve and our businesses evolve as we kind of lean into what's really right for us. And so, I started off, I was very much the rural and regional copywriter. I've evolved into that. There's sort of more using my diplomatic experience was something that I just had put aside for a long time. Yeah. And now I'm kind of leaning into more of this romance writer and connection and whatever. And obviously my copy needs to evolve to change that. And I think that is a really important thing as well, that really the more you can do in understanding, and I guess it's why when you're working, whether you're working with a copywriter or you're working with an agency, really taking the time when we're quizzing you on all of these things to get really clear and to understand, as you just said, there is no magic formula. You as the person, as the business owner, actually is the one with any of the magic.
Yeah.
But we need to know that. I always say as a copywriter, if I was a mind reader, I'd be able to charge a whole lot more, but I'm not. So I really need to ask a lot of questions to really get the business owner to really think hard about what it is that they're offering, and then be willing to kind of go, okay, well, let's test and change. And I've always been a big believer in you put something out there and you work through it, and it mightn't be perfect to start with, but you see what works and what didn't, and you keep tweaking. And the analytics is so important.
Yeah.
So I think that's the great way. And obviously being able to do all those different things with ads and being able to, as you say, look at different headlines. I mean, that's probably the hardest bit
Yeah.
of the sales page to write. And that I call it the gin and tonic headline or the butter and toast kind of, And again, that's probably one of the ones that's, once you've got that right, then make sure your ad copy really matches with that, because there's no point having a really quirky bit of ad copy and a quirky headline, and then they land on this sales page and it feels really formulaic and really bland and vanilla, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So again, it's getting that language right. So it's not just about attracting as many people as we want. And I guess that's the other thing we have to realize. It's at the end of the day, it's about getting the right person for what we're actually doing. Because for a lot of us, we don't need thousands and thousands and thousands of customers. We need that really solid handful of some really fabulous people that we work with that recommend us, and I'm going to leave and finish whatever it is, whether it's a course or a program or a service package, feeling really, really happy about what we've done, and like they got what it said on the box.
I love that. Yeah, that is true satisfaction, isn't it? When the client reflects back on what they originally signed up on and they feel like they've got that and more, that should be, as a business owner, your measure of success.
Definitely. And I love that you said and more. I think that's definitely, we want to give them as much as we can. And again, that's the other thing. It is about your program will evolve or your offer will evolve. And maybe you'll get to a point where you'll throw in another bonus, or you'll be able to throw in something extra, or you'll be able to do something that you didn't necessarily promise. But I mean, you'd rather not promise it and be able to give it than promise it and not be able to deliver on it. So I guess that's the other thing. It's not about putting in things that you're not going to be delivering because you think you need to fill that sales page out more.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. Well, it's been such a wonderful chat. I think it's so nice diving into another area that can really impact ads. You mentioned your workshop for landing pages. Is that something that is regular or coming up?
It's coming up, so I'm not sure when this episode will go live, but we're doing a workshop on the 18th of March, but I hope it will be something that we'll do again. I work with one of my good friends, my sales page partner in crime, as I call her. We did a mastermind. We actually did a sales page course together and then did a mastermind. It just happened that we were buddied up. We've decided she's the design brain, and she's quite, I guess, a unicorn in that she's a graphic designer and a website developer.
Wow.
So she's got those she's an artist. So she's got those creative design smarts, but also the technical smarts. So we're going to be running a 90-minute workshop. Fantastic. But in doing it, we've put together about 27 pages at the moment. Workbook that takes people through every step of working out what needs to be in your sales page and then putting that information together. So I'm hoping that we'll get to a point where we do run it more often, or at least we may be able to offer just the template and a recording. And hopefully we'll look at Elise is actually based in New South Wales. So the goal is eventually, and we'd hope to do it last year, it just didn't work, that we'll do some face-to-face workshops as well.
Fantastic.
For sort of a half day and really be able to help people pull together all of that information that they need. And Elise has got those skills. And I guess it's one of the things that I've really learned from her is the importance of those design elements in terms of taking people through the journey as well.
Well, where can people connect to you so they can learn more about that and also about your copywriting as well?
So obviously my website is the first place to find me, which is just angelapickett.com.au. I'm on Instagram as Angela Pickett Writer, which is a bit of my, I guess, the personal side of who I am and my writing, as well as the sales pages. Our sales page course is actually called Sales Page Rescue. So if you Google that, you'll be able to find all the information about that. And obviously on LinkedIn as well as Angela Pickett.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I think you shared such meaningful insights and really actionable ones as well. And I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you so much. It's been great.
That's a wrap on another episode of Ready, Set, Paid Ads. If you're looking for done-for-you services, training to upskill you in ads management, or free and paid resources to help you plan and execute better ads, head to wiseupmarketing.com.au. If you've loved this episode, be sure to subscribe for future episodes. And if you know someone that would love this podcast too, go on and share it.